This week, I'm ranking the challenges in Shattered Pixel Dungeon in order of difficulty. This is only my opinion, so others may have a different order. Hopefully this will be useful to folks wondering which ones they should pick when doing their 3 challenge badges, 6 challenge badges, or even higher. Let's go by the order the game menu presents them and place them on a scale from relatively easy to difficult. First we have the challenge Hostile Champions. They only have a 1 in 8 chance of spawning versus a normal enemy, the projecting purple ones being the worst, as it's ranged and there's no indication which direction their attacks are coming from. The giant blue and blazing orange champions can be dealt with using throwing weapons or wands. The other types of champions you can fight normally. This is a relatively easy challenge that adds more depth and variety to the game. I would call it a fun challenge. Next is Batter Bosses. Goo now pumps up in 1 turn, no big deal. Tengu is a lot harder due to the barrage of traps in phase 2. The DM300 fight is also mostly unchanged. Dwarf King and Yogg have more minions and fists to deal with, meaning you have to save more potions and alchemy throughout the run in preparation. Since you can't practice boss fights, it does take a while to become comfortable with these changes, so I place it on the lower end of moderate. On Diet. This one is definitely the easiest challenge. It can be countered by simply moving your butt through the dungeon faster. It is a roguelike game after all. It's not an RPG, so we don't need to dwell in the same spot leveling up or anything. Brew some cleansing potions and you're all set. Faith is my armor. Okay, now we're getting into the I enjoy throwing my phone at the wall level of difficulty. This challenge makes armor protection basically non-existent, so any builds that require you to tank damage is significantly harder or impossible to use. And you'll definitely be going through those healing potions. I consider this the second hardest challenge. Pharmacophobia. I've never had to say this word in real life before and seriously had to practice like 5 times before recording. This challenge is as hard as it is to spell. Healing potions are straight up poison, including any variation of healing potions crafted by alchemy. You can only heal using food, sungrass, ankhs, lullaby scrolls, and healing wells. Just save this challenge for last when you've finally gotten bored of doing 8 challenge runs, or make it your only challenge enabled and see how it goes from there. On to Barren Land. This one is harder than it looks. It's one of those challenges where the game is made harder by taking away features. No more dewdrops, no more plants, and secret garden rooms become disappointing because they're just rooms full of grass. It is a moderate level challenge as it takes away more of your healing options like sungrass and dewdrops. I do wish the challenge was scaled back a little bit. Maybe have plants grow only 50% of the time or something, instead of just outright taking the mechanic away. Swarm Intelligence is one of those challenges you don't notice anymore once you've played with it for a while. You start expecting the whole floor to come after you as soon as an enemy notices you. Kind of like when Pippin knocked over that skeleton in Fellowship of the Ring. I put it somewhere on the edge of easy and moderate. It can lead to situations where you get overwhelmed very quickly, and it makes early game especially difficult. Into Darkness is another challenge I enjoy, because it doesn't just take away parts of the game, but it also gives you another resource to manage. That thematically makes sense. It introduces more decision making. Do I have to use a torch right now because I'm low on health and can't afford to get ambushed? Or am I in a position where I'm strong enough to deal with the enemies and can save some torches for later? This one goes in the easy bucket and honestly could be made part of the default game. The last challenge on the list, Forbidden Runes. This one is interesting because at first it doesn't seem so bad. You still get half your upgrade scrolls, right? Until you realize you only get 1 upgrade during the Prisons and Dwarven Metropolis chapters. You'll be waiting a long time to upgrade any good equipment you find on those floors. It also makes the strategy of dumping all your scrolls into 1 weapon or wand not as viable, so no more plus 15 Wand of Fire Blast or Disintegration runs. There you have it. If you can't make up your mind on which to do first or which ones to include for your 6th challenge attempt, start going down the list in this order. I hope you enjoyed listening to me rambling on about dungeon stuff. See you again next week.